Have you ever heard the saying that most brain diseases start in your mouth? It sounds strange, but neurologists and researchers are now proving that this is more than just a catchy phrase. It's a warning backed by science. And it's not about brushing your teeth or flossing more often. The real threat comes from what you put into your mouth every single day. In this video, we're going to talk about the everyday foods that can quietly damage your brain over time. Foods that millions of people eat without realizing the harm they're causing. We'll explore how these common ingredients affect your memory, focus, and long-term cognitive health. And most importantly, we'll share practical solutions backed by neuroscience. Simple dietary swaps and a brain-nourishing plan developed by experts that you can start using right now to protect and even improve your brain function. So if you want to stay mentally sharp well into old age, this video might be the wake-up call you need. Here's the truth. Brain decline doesn't happen overnight. It builds slowly, often silently, over years. One day it might show up as forgetfulness, the next as mental fatigue, and eventually as something much more serious. And while age and genetics do play a role, researchers now agree that our daily choices, especially what we eat, may be the biggest factor of all. Your brain is a powerful machine, constantly working, processing thoughts, memories, emotions, and decisions. Even though it's small, making up just 2% of your body weight, it uses over 20% of your daily energy. That energy has to come from somewhere, and the main source is the food you eat. Every bite you take is either helping your brain function better or slowly breaking it down. That may sound extreme, but it's exactly what studies from top universities and medical institutions have confirmed. Neurologists like Dr. David Perlmutter, known for his research on the relationship between food and brain health, have been sounding the alarm for years. He's not just writing theories. He's showing real-world results. At nearly 70 years old, his own cognitive function rivals that of people half his age. He credits this to the simple act of being conscious about what he eats and avoiding foods that cause long-term inflammation in the brain. So how does it actually work? Let's start with something called the blood-brain barrier. This is a protective layer that acts like security for your brain, filtering out toxins and harmful compounds from your bloodstream. Think of it like the security of an airport, making sure that only safe substances are allowed in. But just like airport security can be overwhelmed, the blood-brain barrier can be weakened, especially by poor diet. When certain inflammatory foods are eaten regularly, they produce toxic byproducts that can breach this barrier. Once inside, these compounds start damaging the neurons, the tiny messengers in your brain that are responsible for everything from recalling your memories to solving problems to controlling your emotions. And once neurons are damaged, they don't regenerate easily. Even worse, inflammation and oxidative stress, both caused by certain ingredients, can reduce your brain's ability to repair itself. That's how everyday habits lead to long-term issues like brain fog, poor concentration, anxiety, and eventually conditions like dementia or Alzheimer's. But how do we know which foods are actually doing this damage? Neuroscientist Dr. Mosconi has spent decades studying brain scans, nutrient levels, and lifestyle habits of people with and without cognitive disorders. Her work has pinpointed several common foods that repeatedly show up in the diets of those with early signs of brain aging. These aren't rare or exotic foods. They're everyday items most people eat without question. The first one on our list is refined sugar. Found in soft drinks, pastries, cereals, flavored yogurts, sauces, and even some so-called healthy snacks, refined sugar is far more dangerous to your brain than most people realize. When you consume too much of it, your blood sugar spikes rapidly. This spike triggers inflammation throughout the body, including in the brain. Over time, this damages neurons and even shrinks certain parts of the brain involved in memory and decision-making. Studies have shown that high sugar intake leads to reduced levels of a critical brain chemical called BDNF, or brain-derived neurotrophic factor. This molecule helps your brain grow new cells and form connections between them, processes that are essential for learning and memory. When BDNF levels drop, you may notice you're more forgetful, slower to process information, or mentally tired more often. And the longer you keep consuming sugar in large amounts, the more damage it can do. The second harmful ingredient is industrial seed oils. Things like soybean oil, corn oil, sunflower oil, and canola oil. These oils are often found in processed food, snacks, salad dressings, fast food, and even some protein bars. While they may seem harmless, they're highly refined and contain large amount of omega-6 fatty acids, which throw off the body's natural fat balance. Your brain is made up of nearly 60% fat, and it needs the right kind of fats, like omega-3s, to function properly. But when omegas excess are consumed in large amounts and omega-3s are lacking, the result is a kind of internal inflammation that affects not only your joints or gut, but your brain as well. Seed oils have been linked to mood disorders, mental fatigue, and an increased risk of neurodegenerative disease over time. The third major concern is artificial additives, things like artificial sweeteners, preservatives, and chemical flavor enhancers. Aspartame, a sweetener found in diet sodas and sugar-free products, has been linked to headaches, anxiety, and memory problems in some studies. Monosodium glutamate, or MSG, found in some savory snacks and packaged foods, overstimulates brain cells and has been associated with neurological effects in sensitive individuals. Nitrates and nitrites, used to preserve processed meats like hot dogs and bacon, are also concerning. These compounds can produce toxic byproducts that have been linked to depression and cognitive decline. While one or two exposures won't destroy your brain, the real issue is regular, long-term consumption. Eating these substances day after day creates a slow buildup of inflammation and oxidative stress in the brain, setting the stage for serious problems down the road. So, what can you do about it? The first step is awareness. Take a closer look at food labels. Refined sugar goes by many names: high fructose corn syrup, dextrose, maltose, and more. Avoid products with added sugars near the top of the ingredient list. Swap sugary snacks for natural alternatives like fruit or dark chocolate with a high cacao percentage. Replace seed oils in your cooking with healthier fats like extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, or coconut oil. These fats not only avoid causing inflammation, they actually help protect the brain and support neuron health. When it comes to artificial additives, stick with whole foods. The fewer ingredients on the label, the better. Choose fresh meats, whole grains, legumes, and natural seasonings. Fermented foods like sauerkraut, kimchi, and kefir can also support gut health, which in turn benefits brain function. To help you get started, here's a simple 21-day plan focused on nourishing your brain. Each morning, begin with a brain-friendly breakfast: wild blueberries, a boiled egg or avocado toast on whole grain bread, and green tea or black coffee without sugar. For lunch and dinner, build your plate around leafy greens like spinach or arugula, healthy fats like olive oil or walnuts, and a lean protein like salmon, chicken, or lentils. Add in a small portion of fermented vegetables to support your gut-brain connection. Snack on mixed nuts, plain Greek yogurt, or a piece of dark chocolate. Avoid processed items, and hydrate with water or herbal teas throughout the day. After 21 days of eating this way, many people report improved focus, better memory, and more consistent energy. The science backs it up. Giving your brain the right nutrients and avoiding damaging foods can change the way you think, feel, and even age. You have more control over your brain health than you might think. It's not just about avoiding disease. It's about giving yourself the best chance to live fully, remember clearly, and feel mentally sharp at every stage of life. If you've made it this far, that means you're serious about protecting your brain. Take the next step and write, "I will take my brain health seriously," in the comments. It may seem like a small thing, but putting it into words helps solidify your commitment. And if you found this video helpful, share it with someone you care about. The information can make a real difference in their life. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to tap that like button. I will see you in my next video.